Welcome back to the Snakebite. You may notice, if you're keenly observant, we are outside. We are having some AC issues, but that's okay. We never stop. Lots on the table for Mocs Athletics this week. Let's get into it. Roll that intro, Nick. The ranked men's lacrosse team continues to roll as they head into our in-conference action. They've been doing it behind their incredible goal-scoring capabilities, scoring 31 over the last two. They started off this 31-goal effort against number 17 Colorado Mesa University in a game full of back-and-forth action. The Mocs were caught off guard to start off the first period. They just conceded the first point, but it was all Mocs in the first half after that, outscoring the Mavericks 10-6. The Mocs, on the second half, they started the Mocs offense slowly. They struggled, only scoring 3 goals, allowing the number 17 of the country to start to climb back into the contest. Entering the fourth quarter, the Mocs were up 11-9, quickly conceded to the Mavericks before answering with a goal of their own, regaining their 2-point lead. The Mavericks weren't done yet, though, showing resilience as they added 2 goals in a quick succession to make things all even, scoring their 11th and 12th goals of the game within 30 seconds of one another. The Mocs, however, had an answer of their own, scoring their lucky 13th goal of the game by way of 𝙏𝙃𝙀 𝙎𝙉𝘼𝙆𝙀. The Mocs then had the tall task of closing out the game with just over 2 minutes remaining, and they more than closed it out with multiple tough saves by Michael Simone. The Mocs won this one 13-12. They did not look back. Next up with their first in-conference game of the Mocs campaign and senior night. Do not worry, though. The seniors were proud after this one. The Mocs sent the Sailfish home with their tails tucked after an 18-7 rout of the in-conference opponent. Multiple Mocs were recognized for their stellar performances over the past week, with Jacob 𝙃𝙀 being selected to the USILA-Blatant Lacrosse Team of the Week for the second time this year, and Michael Simone earning his second SSC Defensive Player of the Week award this season. They return to action tonight at number 3 in the country, University of Tampa, where they'll look to get their 3rd win in program history against the Spartans, who have had the Mocs number, winning 90% of the meetings.
The women's lacrosse team also took on a top 25 opponent, facing off against in-conference foe St. Leo, who were coming into the matchup off of a 3-game win streak, including a win against number 14 Bentley University. Hold on. Did you really think they posed any problem for the Lady Mocs? They destroyed them in a 22-8 rout. The Mocs scored 7 goals in the first quarter in what was a team effort, with 10 different Mocs scoring a goal and 4 scoring 3 or more. Leading the way offensively, it was, you guessed it, Jackie Stoller with 7 points, scoring 4 goals in the contest, with Madison Terra continuing to shred through opponents with 5 goals. And the Mocs took care of business on both sides, only allowing 16 shots, 14 being on goal. Comparatively, the Mocs had 52 shots, with 37 of them being on goal. James, when you're scoring 22 and allowing less than 20 shots, it's a pretty good recipe for success.
Yeah, Carl, and they're not the only team that's had a recipe for success, as the Mocs beach volleyball team split their tri-match at St. Leo this past Wednesday. They faced a tough loss against host St. Leo University 4-1 before winning their rematch against Eckerd College, also 4-1 in Game 2. Now, that Eckerd College team was the first team to hand the Mocs a loss this season, and the Mocs have moved now to 20-2 and will travel to Tampa on Friday for the Tampa Invite to take on St. Leo, Palm Beach Atlantic, and the University of Tampa.
And the softball team's skid of games continues after a competitive 3-game series against the number 4 ranked University of Tampa Spartans. The Mocs held their own in these games, only allowing 6 runs in total, but they only had 2 runs of their own. In the first game of the series, we saw tremendous pitching from both Learman and Ashley Blesson in a game that remained runless until Tampa scored their lone run in the 9th. The Mocs looked to bounce back in the final 2 games against Tampa, but the Spartans were just able to outlast them, winning 2-3 and 3-1. As you can tell with those scores, there was great pitching from the Mocs, and they just weren't able to get the bats going, something they've struggled with all year. They continue in-conference play and will head up to St. Leo for a 3-game series this Thursday and Friday, while they'll look to bounce back after 5 straight losses.
The baseball team was looking to get back into the win column last week, and they did just that last Tuesday night against Florida Tech. The Mocs tallied 7 hits to pair with a great pitching performance by the whole staff and a much-needed 4-3 walk-off victory. They then looked to build on that momentum heading in to face a coveted rival, the University of Tampa. However, the team would revert back to their struggling ways against the best team in the nation. They lost the first game of the series 11-2 in a game that got away from the Mocs late. The team looked to bounce back during the Saturday doubleheader, but their woes continued. They were tied in the first game heading into the 6th inning thanks to a 2-run home run by Jaden Ward to make the score 4-4. However, a 3-run 6th by the Spartans would prove to be too much as the Mocs dropped the second game of the series 7-4. The Mocs looked to salvage something for the weekend in the series finale, but were unable to in a 16-4 loss, making this weekend another one to put in the rearview mirror. They'll need to make some adjustments if they want to flip the script against number 7 ranked St. Leo this Thursday and Friday at Henley Field.
Both the women's and men's golf teams did not compete this week, but they'll be back next week on Monday, April 1st, with the Lady Mocs competing at the Lady Moc Classic 2.0 at Eagle Brook and the men competing in the Battle of the Shores in Miami, Florida. And the track team, they've been in action this past week, and they went eastbound on I-4 this past weekend, venturing out to UCF for the Knights Invite, where we saw some speedy times from the usual suspects against some tough D1 competition. On the women's side, Jania Johnson took care of business running 2:21.33 in the 800 meter for the 5th fastest time in school history. We also saw the men take on the 800 with Anthony Matthew and Alex Guy both running top 12 times in program history for the 800. Matthew outclassed Guy running 1:54.33 for the fastest time this season and 9th best time all time. Matthew also found himself running the 9th fastest time in program history in the 1500, running 3:51.61. Outside of Matthew, we saw strong performances in the steeplechase from Caleb Brady and Dylan Manti, with Manti running a PR of 9:51.12. And both teams return to action this Friday at the Embry-Riddle Spikes Classic.
A couple of weeks ago, the Ice Hockey's 2023-2024 campaign drew to a close after competing and claiming the runner-up position in the AAU College Hockey Nationals. Our very own Nick Merritt was able to catch up with Will Marshall, who was the Mocs' leading scorer, for an exclusive interview late last week. Here's some of that interview now.
I'm here with Will Marshall, a right winger for the Florida Southern College men's ice hockey team. Will, thanks for coming out today. Appreciate it.
Thanks for inviting me.
First off, fresh off the trip to Nationals up in Pennsylvania.
Yep.
What's it like playing in a tournament out of state with some of your favorite guys to play with?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of fun. Obviously, a trip anywhere with your teammates is kind of what everyone wants to do during the season. So it was fun to build up to that, and playing different teams than we usually do, not the same Florida teams, playing teams from Massachusetts and up there in the Northeast was a lot of fun to see some different guys. Maybe start some new rivalry, so that was fun, yeah.
Only playing a couple of road games throughout the season, what was a big step to making sure you guys were ready for like neutral site games and true road games that were definitely far away from home?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many games we played at home, but it was over 75%, so definitely abnormal for us. Being in a hotel, that was the first time we were in a hotel, having to like take the gear back and forth from the rink, so that was tough. But yeah, just trying to stay normal, I guess, for us. Doing the same things we do at home to the best of our abilities, and really just enjoying the difference because we only get to do it once a year.
Yeah, 19-7 record this season, pretty darn good if you ask me. What goes into keeping momentum going, especially when things got tough middle of the season, played some tougher teams, but you guys kept it going, turned it around, and made some big wins and some leaps in the tournaments you guys played in?
Yeah, I mean, the start of the season was definitely a lot easier than the end. Played some teams that weren't as good as us, and we had a couple extra guys halfway through the season. We lost 3 guys because they were graduating, so that definitely hurt us going forward. But yeah, really just enjoying practice, I think, was a big one for us. Like, we got so much better from practice just because we enjoyed being there. We're a simple team. We don't do anything crazy. There's nothing special about our systems, about our play. So really just enjoying getting better as a team. And then, yeah, when it came time to play those tougher opponents, kind of stepping up and everyone filling their role and working hard. Because we only have 15 guys playing against teams that have 22. So, yeah, you got to play hard. And then, obviously, we only have one goalie, Jason Cribb. So he did a fantastic job all year staying in net. So, yeah.
Talk about Jason a little bit. Playing every game, every minute in net. That's tough for many goalies. I mean, you don't even see that in the NHL where they're playing every minute of every game, back-to-backs, 3, 4, 5 days in a row. He's in net all the time. What does it talk about his character?
It's kind of crazy. I've never seen a goalie play 26 games in a row every minute. There were some times when guys in the other team would run into him, and I'd be so worried that he'd be hurt, and we'd be like, well, okay, I guess we forfeit. But no, I mean, he's a great guy. Very nice and very hardworking, obviously. Especially at Nationals, playing 5 games in a row, like 5 20-minute hard games in a row, back to back is pretty crazy. I mean, he's a hard worker, and he obviously did great for us all season, so nothing but thanks from him from the team.
He was the backbone of the defense, and if we turn our attention to offense, you led the team in goals and assists, 40 goals, 39 assists, evened out over the year. So a dual threat right winger. How does that make you easier to score and harder to defend if you're the other team?
Yeah, it's obviously nice playing with guys that can put the puck in when you give them a good pass, and obviously if they're giving me nice passes, it's kind of my job to put the puck in the net. So yeah, really just the guys I'm playing with made it a lot better. If I was alone out there, those numbers would not even be close to that. So honestly, more of a thanks to them for putting me in the positions to get those points. And definitely, us just working well as lines, and our D were always good, fast transitions. I mean, working well in the offensive zone together, whether it's Riggs putting on pressure and then Mike getting me the puck back door, whatever the combination was between us three and Noah and Caleb up at the top, whatever the combination was, I think we always did a good job together, and I guess I just happened to be the guy touching the puck every once in a while.
Found the lucky end of the
I was
found
very
his way
lucky,
in a lot.
very lucky.
8 hat tricks this season. Congratulations on that. It's a
Thank you.
pretty great accomplishment as well.
And last but not least, both tennis teams are in a little bit of a lull for the time being, meaning they're getting some well-deserved rest. The women haven't been in action since dropping a close decision at Tampa on March 19th, and they won't be in action again until Saturday. They'll be up early as they travel down to Miami Shores to take on the Barrie Buccaneers. Matches start at 10 a.m., and the men's team's matchup against number 2 Barrie was postponed, and they competed against unranked University of West Alabama just after our production time. Their next matchup will be this Saturday at home against number 16 in-conference opponent Embry-Riddle. Make sure to show up for that. And that's it for this week's edition of Snakebite. A lot of news around Florida Southern, a lot of news all around the conference, and some all-district honors for both men's and women's basketball, student, then athlete. And Luke Anderson, 3rd team All-American for men's basketball. Congrats to them, and congrats to all Mocs competing right now. That's this week's edition of the Snakebite. See you next time.